Hey y'all, it's Simply Shaquila, the Southern Belle Bombshell, and I'm here to talk about the Braxton Season 2 trailer that was just released a few days ago. I want to start off by saying I have watched this show since it aired. I was in high school when it aired, and now I'm full grown, okay? I am a huge fan of Toni Braxton. I love her music down to the ground. She's one of my top 3 favorite artists. Love her music. That's what had me interested in the show. I did not know anything about her siblings or her family at all. I always had my own thoughts and opinions. But I think now is the perfect time to talk about it. So let's get into that season 2 trailer. The niece Ashley came out and said some things, talked about her childhood and her trauma that she experienced. She's done a few podcasts. I have watched all of that content. I invited her to come on her podcast to talk about her truth. And the sisters didn't like that, essentially. From the clip, Trina, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because why does she have to think about the repercussions of her telling and speaking her truth when y'all was never there for her? And I know, I have an inkling of a feeling that Trina was not there for Ashley because she could not get Gabe out of her system. She done broke up with this man and got back with him so many times, divorced him and remarried him. Gabe had her in a chokehold. So I believe that Trina was not there for Ashley. And why should the abused reach out to you for help when you're the adult and that's the child? The child shouldn't have to reach out to you. You should have been reaching out to her, making sure that she was okay. But I said all of that to say all the issues that they're experiencing, honestly, what it boils down to is that, just like Ayanla said, the fish stink from the head down. The head, them parents, the mama and the daddy, Miss Evelyn and Mr. Braxton. And they don't like to speak ill of their mom. They don't like to call her out on her BS. She don't like to be called out on her BS because Ayanla tried and she basically was like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I ain't about to deal with that. And when they was on that Ayanla show, that gave me a sneak peek and showed me exactly what the problem is. Their mom is emotionally unavailable. She is, and she was when they were kids. Tamar saying in this trailer clip that she reached out to her family for help and they told her that they weren't going to help her. Yeah, them parents dropped the ball. They were emotionally unavailable for them kids. And I'm sure Tamar ain't the only person that experienced abuse. Whether it's sexual, mental, emotional, abuse happened within that household in general, okay? Mr. Braxton even said that Miss Evelyn used to be talking down to him, talking out the side of her neck, which he shouldn't have been cheating and stuff like that, but she was degrading that man mentally and emotionally. She was, and I believe it. And he wasn't taking it no more. He like, yeah, I ain't about to be with you no more. And she held on to that because that man probably was all she knew. And she ain't never let that hurt and that pain go. And just like he said in previous seasons, y'all letting y'all mama control y'all life, which she do. And it's so crazy that Tamar said the family wasn't going to help her. And the main person who she's super close to, from her own admission, is her mom. But it's like, your mama wasn't never there for you, boo, when it came to that situation. Your mama was not emotionally available to you or the rest of your siblings. And that's exactly why their sibling relationship is the way that it is. And it's been a breakdown for years because the mom is not emotionally, the mom is emotionally unavailable. Their dad said, F y'all, and married somebody else and went on about his life. And they feel abandoned by their daddy in that way. And so that just trickled down to them. They tried to get help from Dr. Sherry. Girl, Dr. Sherry, that lady ain't know what she was doing. Okay, she never resolved, got to the root of no issues. I don't know what type of therapist she was. If she was, girl, they needed somebody else. All therapists are not created equally, okay? That was not the one that was going to heal and help y'all family, because I feel like she ain't really did much, okay? Unless they wasn't open to really getting deep down into what the real true issues is. And one thing that I feel about Tracy, she really called out the mess. She said it. They treat her like a stepchild. They treat her like she's not one of the sisters, like she's not one of the Braxtons. We saw how they treated her in real time on TV. We all saw it. Miss E did treat her a certain type of way too. That daddy didn't treat her like that though, because she had a relationship with him, obviously, because she stayed in Maryland. So that could have been the issue as to why they treated her the way that they did. Tamar treated her very poorly. Tawanda treated her extremely poorly. In one of those last seasons, Tracy called her a snake to her face when they were in the at the winery. I forgot where they was at. When what's his name? When Trina's husband proposed to her, it was Tamar's birthday. She was with David. She got mad because Trina got proposed to, called her a bitch, and all this other stuff was going on at that table. Like, it's always some madness and some conflum and drinker voice going on with them, and they're arguing amongst themselves. But the real root and the real issue is that they were, what's the word that I want to look for? The real root, the real problem, the real issue is they were not cared for properly. Point blank, period. Their parents dropped the ball. Point blank, period. And what you're seeing now is unresolved childhood trauma playing out in adulthood. Simply put. And their mom and their dad is responsible. Is the cause of the issues and the things that they're going through. Now, through my own healing journey, what I have learned is, though you're not responsible for your trauma and the things that happen to you, you are responsible for your healing. And it looks like the only person that really started to truly get some healing and some therapy was Tracy. And unfortunately, her life was shortened. Like, it was her time to go, unfortunately. But she was the only one that was actually in real true therapy. And you can tell in that season of the Braxtons when she was speaking about getting her healing and dealing with the death of her niece Lauren and how she was going through her grief, and you know, she distanced herself away from her family because they was toxic as hell. Yes. When you get healing, you have to cut off what's hurting you. And if what's hurting you is your family, so be it. That's the price of healing. And yes, it does hurt, but you're better off being away from that toxicity and removing yourself out of that toxic cycle. How do I know? Because I've done it. I've cut my family off. I don't have any relationship with my mom. We rarely ever talk. And it's mutual. She don't reach out to me. I don't reach out to her. I don't talk to probably the majority of my family. I talk to literally, I can count on one hand, not all fingers, the amount of people that I speak to from my family. And this is my family I grew up with every day of my life. Spent my whole entire childhood with. Don't talk to them. Because once you really start to heal, you have to cut that stuff off. And if cut them people off, and if other people are not on their healing journey and they're trying to come to a resolution and not still be in a cycle of that perpetual trauma and hurt and, you know, all the arguing and never apologizing, never addressing the issue, never taking accountability for wrongdoings, girl, you got to remove yourself and just live your life and create your own family if that's what you choose to do. So I'm excited for this season just to see what's going on, just to see what happens. Shout out to Ashley for being brave enough to speak her truth and tell the truth. And she should not be shamed or ostracized for speaking her truth of what really happened to her. And unfortunately, The generation before her did not do that. Or if they did, they were shut down like Tamar was and basically left to deal with it on their own. And how somebody chooses to speak about what happened to them, process what happened to them, deal with what happened to them, you cannot control that. How are you more mad that she's speaking her truth than what actually happened to her? Like, that's crazy. And that's how I know, like, yeah, y'all ain't right. Ain't none of y'all right, honestly. I'm going to keep watching the show because I want to see what happens. Who y'all should be mad with and not with each other. Y'all should be mad at y'all parents. You have to call a thing, like Ayanna said. If you cannot even admit who and what the true problem and issue is, how can you ever heal from it? You're running away from it. I had to face this stuff myself, too. I had to say I was abused mentally, physically, emotionally. I had to say that to myself, look myself in the mirror and say, I was abused by my mom. I was abandoned by my mom. I was abandoned by my dad. I was not treated properly. The way that I was treated was not okay. I had to call a thing in order to really and truly start healing from it. And healing is a journey. It really, truly is. But Tracy had got some sense about herself and said, fuck it and fuck y'all. I need to take care of me because y'all don't give a shit about me. And y'all proven that time after time after time after time after time again. How many more times do you need to see that they don't care? Watching the Braxtons have kind of turned from entertainment for me, from being a teenager and a young adult to now being well into my adulthood, it's honestly sad. It's sad to see, looking at it with adult eyes, because it's like, yeah, y'all are flawed AF. Okay? Tell the truth, shame the devil. Y'all wrong for coming at Ashley the way that y'all coming at her, because she talking about the shit that happened. Lord have mercy. And trust me, the things that she experienced, that ain't new in that bloodline. That done happened before. And see, in the past, the elder generations protected the abusers. They did. By silencing the abused, you're protecting the abusers. And that was a lot of that going on in the past. Nowadays, things are different. Things are changed. No, we're not silencing them abuse. We're not silencing the abuse. We're calling out the abusers. Abso-freaking-lutely. Tamar is not wrong. Usually, I don't agree with Tamar on a lot of things. I feel like she be right in certain situations, but her delivery overshadows and takes over what she's actually saying. But I've always said Tamar acts like a hurt little girl in the way that she acts. And it's because obviously she's never gotten the help that she truly has needed to heal, cope, and deal with the things that she experienced in her childhood. And I commend her honestly for reaching out to Ashley and giving her that, though it was never provided to her from her own family. And her family is wrong to try to ostracize and shut her down for helping Ashley and being there for her in the way that she knows how. They wrong for that. So I don't know, y'all. It feels very heavy. I'm not even watching it from a lens of entertainment like I used to. Like, I used to be eating that show up. Obviously, I was young and, you know, it was a good show kind of back then. But this season, I don't know. This season just kind of feels like heavy to me. And I will be looking at it from a different POV, obviously. I'm going to be looking at it, you know, just to see what they're really going to do. Last season was a bust, a waste of time. They was wrong as hell for using Kevin Jr. like that for that season. Tawanda seemed like she was the main culprit, but who knows what it really was like behind the scenes, who put that in motion. Last season was a hot mess express. A mess. And depending on how this season go, y'all, this might be my last season watching it, depending on how they navigate this stuff and what they got going on, because I can't condone certain shit. Even when it comes to entertainment, like, I can't watch this no more. So we gonna see, because last season was a hot mess. I don't know. I think they kind of need to get off TV at this point. Yeah, the fans and we want to see y'all, but if we gonna see y'all, at least from my point of view, I want to see y'all really truly healing and not going to Dr. Sherry doing those make-believe therapy sessions. Girl, if y'all gonna be on TV, we want to see some real true healing. I mean, real. Because y'all done put the bullshit out there. Might as well show us the real true healing process if y'all really about it.